Perfect. Hello and welcome to today's NETCONOMY podcast, live from OMR here in Hamburg. I'm Tobias Bo and I'm thrilled to be hosting this discussion on a topic that's top of mind for businesses everywhere, modernizing the customer experience. In today's competitive landscape, delivering seamless, personalized and engaging experiences is no longer optional. It's essential for survival and growth. We're going to be exploring how companies can effectively leverage SAP CX solutions to achieve that and, more importantly, avoid the common pitfalls along the way. Joining me today is a real expert from SAP, Julia Knutti, Chief Revenue Officer Customer Experience, SAP MEE. Welcome, Julia.
Thank you very much, Tobias, and welcome on the SAP booth at OMR.
We're also joined by Thomas Ziegler, Chief Customer Officer at NETCONOMY. NETCONOMY is a leading CX implementation partner with years of experience helping businesses transform their customer experiences with SAP. Thomas Ziegler, welcome to the show.
Hello, Tobias.
We've got a packed agenda to dive deep, so let's jump right in, I'd say. Julia, first question right for you. SAP CX is a very broad suite. What's one crucial area where companies consistently underestimate the effort required when starting their CX transformation journey, and what specific steps can they take to prepare better?
Great question. Thanks, Tobias. I mean, don't get me wrong. We are here, or I'm representing SAP as a tech company. But when I look into the success of a transformation, there we are talking about business transformation, right? So bringing value to the users and the employees, depending on the responsibility in the value chain they are driving. For me, and this is as well seen from, for example, recent studies from McKinsey. So, number one, we really need an understanding of communication between the different levels, meaning the IT has to understand the business requirements and the business has to be as well, let's say, applicable to understand what's feasible with technology, first. Second, if we don't have a clear top-down support for the transformation, we will stick into the silos and we will have as well the issue that the transformation, which cannot be done only in the technology, won't get into the agile way and into the speed way, because we need this top-down understanding and this top-down commitment. Normally, people are not really willing and eager for change. But if we are looking in today's world and as well in our normal life, change is everywhere, right? And third, I would say as well, ensure early on to have lighthouse people and advocates for what you want to drive and change.
Super interesting point, Julia. Thank you very much. And I feel like Thomas will be aligned with quite some of those. So Thomas, from NETCONOMY's experience, from your experience, what are the biggest reality checks clients face during the initial CX planning and implementation stage? And how do you help them adjust their expectations?
To be honest, as mentioned by Julia, I think the first reality check is, do you really know what I want? Always starting the journey like saying, I know it exactly. Asking several questions, you will find out like, well, there's a bit of uncertainty there and there and there, and it accumulates. So it's getting more and more and more. So the first thing we are doing, entering in such a transformation, is really to create this North Star. Having the principle where all the further actions and implementations are based on is really crucial for the customer. And so that's the reason why we always start with the question, what do you want? What is your vision? What is the strategy behind the actions you want to take? And asking these questions always helps the customer to really then sharpen the idea and also be more focused on what creates immediate value, what is maybe necessary in a later stage. And also some things where I say, well, I can skip because it's maybe beyond the cherry on the cake.
I get that. Very, very well said. I guess something super important for this whole topic as well is data, because data is basically the lifeblood of personalized CX. And Julia, this question would be for you. How can companies effectively leverage SAP CX solutions to build trust with their customers while still maximizing personalization and creating relevant experiences, especially considering growing data privacy concerns?
A lot of important words in one sentence. let me get them through. So personalization, I mean, what means personalization? For me as an end customer, as well for the customers of our customers, it's important to get, no matter in which area of the customer journey the customer is, one unique point of data, right? Because otherwise you cannot serve a meaningful, personalized experience. This is only possible if we have a clear, and you mentioned it, the importance of data, a clear data strategy. And there, especially with the SAP capabilities, I don't want to broaden it down or let's say limit it to the customer experience point of view, because what makes a seamless experience possible is to have the understanding of supply chain data, finance data, and then in the end, when it comes to the lead to cash process. And this is possible when you have a clear data strategy in place, where you have the SAP data from the business processes, but as well, let's say, outside our systems, the data in place. And this very easy to consume back to the business, that they can then ensure that the customer personalized way and the experience is possible, right? And then we can talk about, let's say, having a focus on loyalty, and having loyalty enriched with the AI capabilities we have out of the box available due to, let's say, as well the semantic data layer I'm just describing.
Thank you, especially for this one point about how important data strategy is. Because, Thomas, here would be the next question for you directly. How does NETCONOMY guide clients in developing these data strategies that are both effective and ethical? And what role does the customer voice themselves play in this process?
To be honest, starting first with understanding which data do you have. So it means really the basis of all your actions are more or less the know-how about your customer, about your product, about your transactions. So first step is really to understand which data you have. Second step is then which data do you need to create the business value intended. So then reflecting back and saying, well, of course we have the data in place, we can proceed. If not, how we can create this data. So means also if data are missing, so let's create them. Let's focus, for example, like data generation campaign to get the data out from the market, from your customer, in order to proceed with the third step, build your strategy, your product, your functionality based on this data. Because this is the new fuel for the whole business. It's not money. Money is just an accelerator. It's really the data beyond that, because if you have them and you implement according to them, then you will succeed anyway, because you really know what the customer wants and what he really needs. And then you have a closed cycle, and we repeat this for every functionality we implement once. And the other thing is also then, if you think about the more clever approach, like focusing on AI implementations as well, then we have to make sure that the customer has the data, that the AI capabilities are fueled with them. And then they are getting perfect, and then they are really accelerate your business model. Because it's just like if you look outside towards AI, it's like you look at this and say, well, looks great. Then you turn it on and nothing happens. Why? Because the AI has no data there. And so it's a nice algorithm, costs a ton of money, but nevertheless delivers no value. And this is really one of our core essentials when we consult the customer about his own data. Do you have it? Can we use it? And how we deliver the value using the data.
I like this reality check that you bring into this whole topic. It's really nice.
And let me add, because I forgot to, let's say it as well, to give the glimpse on the regulations you mentioned, right? And I 100% agree to Thomas. But that's why it's crucial to provide in the companies exactly systems who are acting based on the latest regulations which are in place. Because the customer is used to give the data. Your employee is used to trigger it. But the baseline is really then, to have systems in place who are able to work against the regulation.
And here's the advantage to just follow the comment from Julia. If you have SAP in place, you have not only a strong enterprise core there, you really have the ability to extract the data out of everywhere. So it's just the ERP, or the customer data cloud, or the customer data platform, or even your marketing system. So SAP builds really a holistic ecosystem where it makes it really easy to extract this data, starting with the ERP, but not ending there. And this really gives you the ability then to use also algorithms and AI capabilities provided by SAP, because they are focusing on this data extraction and can easily use them.
Great points, especially I somehow heard that data exists already and that they have systems in place, and sometimes organizations have existing systems that are not from SAP but need to integrate with SAP. And Julia, this question would be for you. What's one practical piece of advice you'd give to companies that are trying to integrate their legacy systems with SAP's modern CX solutions to avoid a complicated and costly implementation?
There, unfortunately, I again have to step back from the system in place. For me, it's always important to look into where is the business and what is needed to optimize the bottom line in regards to revenue growth, and how is this linked then to get the clean core in place, right? Mm-hmm. So, and that's why I really admire how NETCONOMY is supporting our customers in exactly this question and in the journey. So always ask, what is the business outcome you want to create, and then make a reality check with what is existing. Because just because you have a system in place and a process behind, doesn't mean that this is exactly, or most likely, this is not what you need for the future. So that's why step one. And then if we are already into the details, of course, then we advise and support our companies to keep what makes sense for the future, and as well to be bold in the transformation to renew what is needed. Mm-hmm. Because in the end, this makes then the ROI as well compelling.
Super interesting to hear that from SAP perspective. And Thomas, maybe you can fill in quickly from NETCONOMY perspective as well. What are common traps companies fall into when trying to integrate legacy systems?
I think starting with a funny trap is, as it was not mentioned before, is SAP is not that closed ecosystem many customers believe in. So it means the solutions are very open, and we were able to integrate very central in foreign environments SAP technology to help the customer to achieve targets. This is one of the first traps, because they believe, like saying, well, I buy one piece of SAP, I need everything. So for sure it's an advantage, but nevertheless it's not needed anyway. The other trap is then also thinking about just like replacing one component in the architecture without asking, does it make sense? So what do you mean? It's like, okay, I will renew my marketing automation, so replace tool 1 with tool 2. But nevertheless asking before, okay, what has delivered value in that process, to see and understand, maybe like saying, well, it's not about the marketing tool, it's about the data coming to the marketing tool. For example, having no customer data platform in, so means I do not understand the transactions of my customer, but I sent him emails, but he's not opening them. Yeah, why? Because you have no clear context from the email to some transaction. So the other pitfall is really like saying, well, replace that, all is good. It's just really asking, okay, where we are strong, where we are weak, and where can SAP help me to improve my business? So the commodity of the technology is always there. It's like asking the right question. I can replace everything. But what I need first is really this idea, what does help me to reach the next level in my business?
I think that's a great point of view. And I would say, looking at the time, maybe we can very quickly go for a short question about the future. Maybe for both of you, same question. What is one trend? What is one thing maybe on the SAP roadmap that is super exciting for you and that you are looking forward to? Maybe Julia, you can start.
I mean, in the end, we are here to create loyal customers and making our customers advocates or fans, and the customers of our customers brand ambassadors, right? And what do you need obviously a clear, structured end-to-end loyalty understanding, and this is exactly why SAP just launched at the NRF at the beginning of the year our new solution, SAP Loyalty Management, where we are really eager to get it towards our customers, and we are in a day-to-day engagement in the Lighthouse program, which as well is currently running to be then as soon as possible on the market with this important topic.
Super exciting.
Because coming back to the question, why do I need that? It's really like I need to create more margin with less efforts, and also to open new revenue streams. Loyalty was considered in the past like saying, well, I have it, it's okay, you
Nice
can
to have.
get some points here, and all is good. But if you think about that now, it's really like not only getting the data out of the transaction, like saying, well, I identify with my loyalty, it's also an additional driver to create new revenue. Why? Because you give the customer some kind of trigger to say, well, come again, you're a loyal customer, you maybe reached level 1, 2, 3, 4, you are my premium customer. Come here, you will get that, and then I can cross-sell you the next product close to it. So a lot of customers are intending to do that, but nevertheless are not open to implement a solution for that. Now a solution is there, which is very easy to use, and also gives credit to another trend, because the other trend is do more with less effort. So means an easy-to-use system also enables the customer to run a loyalty program without having 20 people in place who are just managing that stuff. There's maybe 2, 3 people who are creating a clever loyalty program, but just one maybe who is maintaining the loyalty system. And SAP really gives a focus on that to really increase your revenue, to improve your business model, but also lowering these efforts.
Super excited for how this will play out, and thank you very much. I just have one, and this time it's really the last question before we jump back to the OMR. If you could only use one emoji to describe the future of customer experience with SAP, what would it be and why? Difficult question, I know.
It's a beautiful one.
I think it's this surprised emoji. Why? Because what is SAP doing over the last years is really to transform their brand from this old ERP stuff into this new customer engagement brand. And customers will be very surprised what SAP is able to do besides the ERP to really engage and more or less stun the customer, that he sees, wow, this is really working, and it's really working fast, good, and gives me really additional value. And so that's my emoji.
And I can build on it, I would say the cheery one, because the ones who realized
great choice.
this and made this kept secret, let's say, available, then they can do nothing else than cheerio.
Thank you. Perfect choices, both of them. Thank you very much, Thomas. Thank you very much,
That was a
Julia.
good one.
Yes.
Thank you very much for being here today with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.